What's going on YouTube? Gabe the Great back here again with another video, and today we're going to be doing another rebuild, and today we're going to take a hold of the Phoenix Suns. Now, I've never actually rebuilt the Phoenix Suns. If you guys see many of my other videos, I typically like to have Devin Booker on my team. I have him in the Jackson Baldwin career. I just dropped a new video for that yesterday, so make sure you go see that. But I've never actually, messed with the Suns. I never rebuilt the Suns. So this is going to be the first time that I've done a Phoenix Suns rebuild. So I'm looking forward. So obviously the first thing we got to do is look at the roster. And looks like they got an opportunity to have a lot of cap space freeing up for next season. So that's going to be good. I don't know if I'll be able to get Chris Bosh, but we're gonna go ahead and attempt to get Chris Bosh. So let's jump into everyone's favorite parts, the trade. So my very first trade is actually going to be Devon Reed, Derrick Jones Jr., Dragon Bender for Tony Parker and Kyle Anderson. Now, this is total countercultural of a rebuild. Most people, when they do rebuilds, they want to get a bunch of young players instead of trading for older players. But you guys know me. While everyone's going right, fighting to go right, I'm carving a new path going left. And I'm a big time believer in that potential is just that, potential. So I'm not trying to sit here for 5, 6, 7 seasons waiting till these guys upgrade to a 79, 80, 85. When I can get Tony Parker right now, who is a very decent point guard, and flip him for something better and a little within a season or two. So I'm going to go ahead and trade Tony Parker. The only downside to this trade is my initial intention was to get Chris Bosh, but because Tony Parker has such a huge contract, I'm not going to end up getting Chris Bosh. So I didn't even realize that till after I traded him, but that is going to be the first trade of the season. The second trade is going to come after our first 2 games, and we're 0-2, and this trade is going to be a first round draft pick in 2019 and Brandon Knight for Julius Randle and Jordan Clarkson. Now, I love Jordan Clarkson, not too high up on Julius Randle, but he's an easy guy to trade for in 2K18. So I like to get him and flip him from something later. But this is actually going to upgrade our bench, so I'm liking it from that perspective because our bench gets an upgrade and we get a true starting power forward. The next trade, we are now 2-3, and this one is going to be for Tyler Ulis, Alan Williams, Yusuf Nurkic, and Al-Farouq Aminu. Again, I felt this was a very, very solid trade. Nurkic, again, can come in and actually be a starting center. He's actually a young guy. We'll take on Al-Farouq Aminu, Tyler Ulis. Here's the thing. You can't have a team that's too young because no one ever won a championship with, 12 players under 25. When does that ever happen in real life? That never happens. Typically, people don't even start becoming superstars until they're 24, 25, 26, 27. So typically, this is why I'm not super high up on draft picks and on young talent, because that's what they are, young talent. They're not developed superstars. I much rather go with a guy who's been in the league 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 years versus having a team full of 22-year-olds. And so we're going to go ahead and get Nurkic. He's going to be our starting center and get rid of Alan Williams and Tyler Ulis. Now the fourth trade is going to happen a little bit in November. And in this trade, we are going to trade a first-round draft pick in 2018 and Jared Dudley for Gordy Dang and a first-round draft pick in 2021. Again, I don't typically build through the draft. However, I like stocking future draft picks because I can use them as assets later. This is going to get me an awesome backup center in Gorgie Jang. I actually really like him. he hasn't been performing too well in real life, but I actually like playing with him. So about 5 days after that, we're now 8-7. And that's going to bring us to a really big trade right here, where it's TJ Warren, Alex Lynn for Clint Capella and PJ Tucker. So as you see, my past 3 trades, I've traded for 3 straight centers. And if you haven't noticed, I'm going to be doing a whole video on it, but centers are like super easy to get in this game. But you don't want to do what I do and overload on centers. But however, again, this is a bit of an upgrade right here. PJ Tucker is his stats and ratings were not too far off from TJ Warren. And so I went ahead and did that because Clint Capella is clearly better than Alex Lynn. So I wanted to go ahead and do that one. So we're going to do that trade and knock that one on out. About 3 days later, we're 12-8, looking pretty good, but we need some more scoring. So I'm going to go ahead and trade another first round draft pick and Troy Daniels for Jamal Crawford and a first round draft pick in 2020. Jamal Crawford, why not? Even at 37 years old, the guy can still break anybody's ankles and go for 20. So now we're in December. We are 15-11, and now it's time to start offloading some of these centers. The first center that I'm going to offload is going to be Tyson Chandler. I'm going to trade Tyson Chandler and Marquise Chris for Rudy Gay and Danny Green and a first round draft pick. So I know at this time it may look like I'm getting the short end of these deals, but everything I'm trading away is future. Future doesn't pay bills today. Futures don't win games today. So everything I'm trading away for future, I'm letting other teams, you take the future. I want the right now. This is how I do all my trades. And so Rudy Gay is going to be a great starter for us. Danny Green's going to be great coming off the bench. And so I got some veterans here. They're also on a 1-year deal. So if it doesn't work out, I don't have to worry about it. I still can make a big splash in free agency. The next trade is going to come a couple days after that, and in this is my first blockbuster trade, and it's for Josh Jackson and Eric Bledsoe, and a first-round draft pick in 2021 for Kemba Walker and Malik Monk. Now, obviously, I think Kemba Walker is better than Eric Bledsoe. When it comes to Josh Jackson and Malik Monk, I believe Malik Monk will actually progress way better than Josh Jackson. So what I like to do, I don't like to have a team full of young guys. I like to have like 2 or 3 young guys and surround them with veteran leadership. Surround them with people who are going to help them develop, as opposed to trying to have them win a championship at 20, 21 years old, their first couple years in the league. You're almost setting them up for failure. My next trade, we are now 17-15, so doing pretty decent, but we're in the Western Conference, so that's not going to cut it. So I'm going to go ahead and get a backup point guard as well, and I'm going to trade Kyle Anderson and Jordan Clarkson, who I got from the Lakers, for Patrick Beverley and Wesley Johnson. So this was just quite simply an upgrade at the backup point guard position. And so I love Patrick Beverley. He gives us some defense that we lost in trading Eric Bledsoe. And we still got Kemba Walker. So we are looking pretty good right now. Right now, our record is 18-16. And this next trade is going to be for Tony Parker and Julius Randle for Chris Middleton and Matthew Dellavedova. Matthew Dellavedova is like, whatever. Julius Randle, as I said, I'm not too high up on him. But to think that for Tony Parker and Julius Randle, I can get Chris Middleton, which is a very decent 2-guard, who's going to give me anywhere from 10 to 14, 15 points a game reliably. Like, I don't have to hope that he gets me that. Like, I'm going to know he's going to be able to get me that reliably. And there's nothing like having a guard who is reliable. So we're going to go ahead and do this deal. The next trade is going to come after the new year. We are 20-19. And this trade is going to be we're going to start trying to upgrade our power forward position we're going to send away Yusuf Nurkic, Al-Farouq Aminu, and a second round pick in 2021 for Kenneth Faried and Tyler Linden. Again, trying to offload some of my backup at the starting center position, or at the center position in general. So I typically have 2 rounds of trades when I do rebuilds. There's the early season trades that happen in October and November, and then I have the mid to right before the trade deadline season trades. That's going to happen in January and early February. So now we're in our second round, and usually what I do in the second round is take all the people that I traded for that aren't super contributing to the team and whose stats aren't looking great. I take all those people that I traded for in the first round of trades, and I go ahead and ship them out for better talent, as I'm doing right here with Kenneth Faried. The next trade is going to come at the end of the month, the end of January. And this trade is going to be for Jamal Crawford, PJ Tucker, and Trevor Ariza and Tariq Black. Now, I did this trade, and it was right around the time I did this trade that I started to second guess some of the trades I had made. Maybe you already do that if you're watching the video. But it was right around this time where I said, I don't know if I honestly made the best trades this season. But I went ahead and did this. I like Trevor Ariza. Again, reliable, small forward, long 3-and-D guy. Can never have too many of those guys. So we're going to go ahead and take Trevor Ariza. As we're winding down to the end of the season, as you see, we are 44-35. And excuse me, we actually are going into the playoffs with a pretty good streak on our hands. Kemba Walker does go down right before the playoffs, so that's no bueno. That's not fun, but we're going to do what we got to do to go ahead and go in here. So to take this team, I think this was like a 20-win team last year, and to make them a playoff team, I think is really big in the first season. I mean, we were a 6 seed. So that is really, really big. We're going to end up getting past the Houston Rockets and going into the game with the Thunder. And unfortunately, Patrick Beverley breaks his right leg, and he's going to be out for the season. And so that's pretty much going to do it for us. We're going to get eliminated by the Thunder in the second round, and Golden State is going to go ahead and sweep Cleveland for another NBA championship. Now here we are at the draft lottery, and again I don't have any picks really, so I'm not really worried about the draft lottery. I'm more focused on free agency. Now, a contract with our coach is up, so I want to make sure we get someone really, really good in here. So obviously I'm gonna go with the guys who have the highest rated ratings for coaching, and that's what I did. And I go ahead and sign a guy who has all A's. Now here are our the people who are decided to come back and the people who didn't. We got Devin Booker, Patrick Beverley, and then Rudy Gay. Rudy Gay is going to walk, but Danny Green is actually going to come back. So Kevin Durant, Paul George, DeAndre Jordan, these are guys who are going to leave. And we're going to extend a qualifying offer to Clint Capella. Now we're going to the offseason and free agency. So it's time to clear up some cap space. So the first thing we're going to do is trade Gorgie Jane and 2 second-round draft picks for Ivanka Zubac. He is a young guy that I do like, who can be a center or a backup center. So I'm really feeling this deal right here. So we're going to go ahead and do that. The next trade that we're going to do to try to clear up cap space, these are typically cap space trades, is of Kenneth Faried for a first-round draft pick in 2020. So this is going to be huge for us because it's going to clear up quite a bit of cap space for us. We're going to do one more, try to, clear some cap space. Matthew Dellavedova, we're going to trade his $9.6 million contract for a first round draft pick and a second round draft pick. So again, I've stocked up on what other people think are valuable draft picks. So this is usually my my off-season trades. My off-season trades are typically to clear up cap space and to get assets, draft picks, i.e. draft picks that I can use for trades later on. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, clear up some cap space, and I think that we're going to be just about ready to offer some people some contracts. And as you see right here, Kevin Durant and DeMarcus Cousins both are willing to sign with the team. It'd be great if I could get both of them, but I don't think that I'm going to be able to get both of them. But as you guys see, if I renounce the rights to Rudy Gay and Tyreek Black, then I can sign Kevin Durant. And so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then we're just going to go out and just try to sign a few people. Zaza Pachulia, Adrian Payne, we're not going to be able to re-sign. But Rondo, Luke Babu Amute. All right. And so now I'm signing all these veterans on veteran minimum deals, which is going to help us out a ton. Clint Capella is going to accept his qualifying offer. And this is the team going into the next season. Durant, Walker, Booker, Middleton, Malik Monk, Clint Capella, Patrick Beverly, Trevor Ariza, Zubac, Payne, Danny Green, Rondo, Pachulia, Abu Amute, William Johnson, and Tyler Linden. We're going to make one more trade right before the start of the season to try to clear up our depth chart, because we had 16 people going into the season, and obviously you can only have 15. So we went ahead and traded Tyler Linden, Wesley Johnson, a second round draft pick for Bobby Portis and the first round draft pick. So I'm really feeling our squad going into the next season. I feel like they're going to be really great. So after our first game of the season, we're going to go ahead and do our first trade. This is going to be Danny Green and Trevor Ariza for Michael Kidd-Gilchrist and Dwayne Bacon. Now, fun fact for those of you guys who didn't know this, when you trade with a team, this is why I also like to build through trades, because it's a little hack that a lot of people don't know about the myleague and mygm, is when you trade with a team once, then that opposing GM or the AI, CPU, whatever you want to say, they now trust you more and they're more willing to do deals with you. So if you notice, a lot of teams that I'm dealing with them repeatedly. So this is the second time I've dealt with the Charlotte Hornets. Remember, I got Kemba Walker for them. Now I'm going to go out and get Michael Kidd-Gilchrist from them. So I go out and pretty much get their two best scorers in two separate trades. And I'm not really trading away any of my best scorers. I mean, I trade away Eric Bledsoe, but I mean, Kemba Walker is better than Eric Bledsoe in my opinion. But that's a little fun fact for you. So we're going to go ahead and get Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. Now here was a trade that was offered to me that I was so close to doing. Kemba Walker for Rudy Gobert, Chris Middleton, and also Donovan Mitchell. I was so close to doing that because I was thinking, now I'm actually grateful that I didn't do that trade for Rudy Gobert, because the Celtics, I'm actually going to do a deal with them to be able to get Kyrie Irving. Now, why Kyrie Irving is an 88, I don't know. Obviously, I think that they have him undervalued. Maybe he got injured, and so that brought his attributes down a little bit. But I am definitely willing to trade Kemba Walker and Chris Middleton for Kyrie Irving and Jaylen Brown. This is a trade that I feel like we absolutely got the best of. Kyrie is worth way more than 88 and 4 stars. He's a 4.5. He's a 4.5, 5-star if you ask me. And of course, I'm going to take Jaylen Brown. So that's pretty much going to do it for the trades in this season. We're not going to do too many more trades. And so as you guys see, our record, we started off slow. because the chemistry was weak. But we ended up, as you see the record, we're first in the conference, first in our division, and we really haven't lost too many games, 38-12 right now. And as you see, a bunch of people want Malik Monk right before the trade deadline, but I'm not going to give him up, or Patrick Beverly. A bunch of people wanted Patrick Beverly, but I was not going to give him up, and it's a good thing I didn't, because of course Kyrie Irving goes down with the season-ending injury. So we're going to end up losing a lot more games in the back half without Kyrie Irving, but we still got Kevin Durant. And Devin Booker. But I mean, at one point we had Devin Booker, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and a tremendous bench. We are still, I believe, going to be able to, and it became a fight. As you see, we're losing a lot more games, still fighting for that. And of course, Malik Monk, he gets injured right before the playoffs, so this is just not good for us. It's not how we wanted to end the season. We were in first place. Obviously, we lost a lot of games after we lost Kyrie Irving, so that was not fun. But there you go. See all the different awards here, and I was shocked that KD. Well, actually, I wasn't shocked that KD didn't get it, because honestly, KD was playing like trash at first. I think he was averaging under 20 points per game at the start of the season, and kind of bounced back, but not really. But anyway, we're going to the playoffs right now, and the big thing for us, I'll let you go ahead and see the standings. We end up getting the number 2 seed right there. So tied. Minnesota has a tiebreaker on us, so we're the number 2 seed. So we're going to get Denver in round 1. And of course, Jaylen Brown goes down with an injury. And so we got Malik Monk, Kyrie Irving, and Jaylen Brown all out with injuries right now in the playoffs. Horrible time to get injured, but we're going to beat the Denver Nuggets in 6, setting up for a second round matchup against the Oklahoma City Thunder, and we're going to get them in 7. And now we got to go up against the Minnesota Timberwolves. And again, a couple of our guys are injured. Malik Monk now goes out for the season. So this is just not good. But we still got KD. We still got Devin Booker, Patrick Beverly, Clint Capella, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, Rondo Brown. So these guys are really going to have to step up here as we head into the Western Conference Finals. And going to the finals, we are going to be able to beat them in 6 games. And now we're matched up with the Charlotte Hornets, and we're going to beat them in 6 games. So there you go, guys. Have it. Kevin Durant is going to be your MVP, finals MVP. So there you guys have it. We end up getting the championship in just 2 years. Again, I shared a little tips and tricks, little hacks, my league hacks in that video. So go ahead, leave a like down in the comment section if you like this. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let me know down in the comment section what team I should rebuild next. And I will see you next time. Peace.